Walt Disney's my very first Winnie the Pooh growing up stories. Okay, let's continue on from last time. Don't talk to strangers. Do you see Pooh and Piglet there? And they're ready to go to the door, and Piglet's like, Don't open the door, Pooh. We're not supposed to talk to strangers." And Pooh's like, "Huh?" So let's see what Piglet is talking to Pooh about. Let's do it. I'll make sure I got that perfect. Ah, one fine day, Winnie the Pooh and Piglet were sitting together in their thoughtful spot when they happened to look up. Christopher Robin was walking down the path. "Where are you going?" asked Pooh. "To my grandmother's house for supper," said Christopher Robin. "You're going out of the 100-acre wood by yourself?" asked Piglet. "You're going out by yourself?" Oh, yes. And then you can see Pooh's kind of nervous a little bit, and so is Piglet, and they're in their thoughtful spot. Now Christopher Robin. "My mom and my dad say I'm big enough," said Christopher Robin. "I know I can do it." Piglet's ears twitched so hard. But Christopher Robin, well, what did you doing if you meet somebody?" He pulled. This was his ears twitched so hard. He to pull on them to make them stop. Is it safe out there? That's what Piglet says. "Is it safe?" "Sure," says Christopher Robin. "And it feels great to go out of your own something, not scary. When you go out and you're not scared." Piglet goes, "Oh, really? Are you sure? Because you're going out of the 100-acre woods, and I'm a little scared about that." And Christopher Robin's going to talk to him about something. It was little at first," said Christopher Robin, "but my mom wrote down the stay safe rules for me. Once you know them, being on your own isn't scary at all." "Can we learn the safe rules?" asked Pooh. Of course," said Christopher Robin. "Maybe you can, Pooh," said Piglet, but it's too hard for a small animal like me to stay safe without somebody bigger with them." "You are small," Christopher Robin said, "but you can learn the safe rules too. The most important thing to remember is don't ever talk to strangers." That's what his mom gave Christopher Robin this don't how to stay safe rules. And Piglet's like, I don't know if I could do it. I'm such a very small animal. And Pooh's like, "Just teach us." And Christopher Robin's doing something really big. His mom's trusting him. He's going outside the 100-acre woods to go to his grandmother's house for dinner. And that's when he bumped into Piglet and Pooh, who are on their think spot where they always think. And he showed them the safe rules. And so we're going to get to see some more. We learned not to talk to strangers. Let's see if they'll teach us some more stuff. "You mean people who look strange?" asked Pooh. "Silly old bear," said Christopher Robin. "A stranger is somebody you don't know." I do know Piglet," said Pooh, "and Piglet knows me." "That is very true," said Christopher Robin. "Right," said Christopher Robin. "And we all know Tigger, Owl, Rabbit, Gopher, Kanga, and Roo. And Eeyore, everybody knows me. I'm everybody's friend." That's what Eeyore says, said Piglet. And he says Eeyore and Piglet. Piglet says that Eeyore is our best friend. And Christopher Robin says this: "You are doing the right thing, Pooh and Piglet, by knowing who your friends are." And we'll go over the list one more time of the friends that Pooh and Piglet know. They know Rabbit. Of course, they know We'll start with Christopher Robin. They know. Oops, I got to come over here. They know Christopher Robin. Then we'll come over here and show this. They know Tigger. They know Owl. See, Tigger, Owl. There's Rabbit. There's Gopher. Gopher's right there. There's Kanga. Where's Kanga? Kanga. And Roo. And of course, Christopher Robin. And we can't forget our little friend Piglet. So these are the people that they know. They know all these, but Christopher Robin is telling them, make sure that you stay with your friends here. And if you don't know who it is, don't talk to strangers. That's basically what his mom said. And he says, do not talk to strangers again on the bottom. So we get to see what more he's going to teach them. Why can't we talk to people we don't know? Asked Piglet. Are they dangerous? Outside the 100-acre woods, there are many people, interrupted Christopher Robin, outside the 100-acre woods. And Pooh asked, thousands and thousands of people? Pooh asked. And Christopher Robin said, most strangers are nice, but a few of them aren't. How can we tell who's nice and who's not? Asked Pooh. Pooh's like, I'm kind of curious. Here's Pooh, and they're like, how do we tell who's? And Pooh's asking, how do we tell who's nice? Because we know all my friends here, but how do I tell which one's nice and which one's not nice to talk to? Christopher Robin will continue to teach Pooh and the team. Let's come on over here. Yay! All right. We can't tell the difference between a good strangers and a bad stranger just by looking, said Christopher Robin. So we should never talk to any strangers. He's telling his friends that. That doesn't sound very nice, said Pooh. You can always be friendly with your friends, said Christopher Robin. Pooh's like, that doesn't seem nice. Then Christopher Robin says, you can be friendly with your friends here, but don't talk to strangers. Okay, you're right. Perfect. Here. It's nice to be friendly with friends, smiled Piglet. So he's like, it's nice to be friendly with friends. Yes, said Christopher Robin, but you should never be friendly with strangers. That's what he's teaching him. His mom wrote him the rules to safety. And so here's Christopher Robin talking to his friends, and he's telling them the rules that his mother made for him to never talk to strangers. All right, let's see. Did I get this? Oh, perfect. No, wait a second. Hold on. Let's make sure, because it looked like it. Oh, no. Okay, there you go. Never, murmured Pooh thoughtfully. We can talk more later, said Christopher Robin. Christopher Robin says, I'm in a hurry. I'm off. I don't want to be late for supper with my grandma. Well, the word supper reminds Pooh of something he didn't want to be late for, his supper either, so he invited Piglet over for honey and haycorn. There's haycorn and there's honey. Piglet likes haycorns with a little bit of honey, and they dipped them in the honey, and now they're going to have haycorn honey supper. Excellent. You see all of that? And then Christopher Robin is saying, goodbye, have a great dinner. Okay, and he's going to go to his grandmother's house. Pooh was just beginning his third pot of honey when Piglet looked up suddenly and listened. What was that? Asked Piglet. That especially looks so scared. I hear such a sound. What was that? Wondering, Pooh said. Oh, Pooh said, Piglet, do you think it's a stranger? Boy, they're really scared. Maybe, said Pooh. Something it isn't. Sometimes it is, and sometimes it isn't. Pooh's like, don't worry, Piglet. It could just be the wind. It could just be, brushes on the windows. It could just be something that hit the door in a windy time. But Piglet's very, very cautious, which is good. Very good. Tap, tap, tap went the noise. I think it's someone knocking at the door, said Piglet. Is that you, Tigger? Called Pooh. But it wasn't. Come on in, Rabbit, he said. That's what Pooh says. But it wasn't Rabbit. What if it's just somebody with a little pot of honey for us? Asked Pooh. He started to open the door. No, cried Piglet. No. What if it's somebody we don't know? Remember what Christopher Robin said. He's pulling on Pooh's shirt, saying, "No, don't you remember what Christopher Robin?" Pooh's like, "There could be a smackerel of honey out there." This is the door that's outside. And so Piglet's being very wise and telling Pooh to wait and make sure who it is. Don't ever go to the door and open it for a stranger. That's what he's telling Pooh. Piglet pushed a chair over to Pooh's window. He stood on his tippy toes to peek out. "It's very strange. It's a very strange animal," cried Piglet, "with a shiny yellow head and big round eyes." Pooh looked too. Bang! 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 The strange animal was hammering nails into a small board. They're going, "Oh no, 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 it's a stranger. I know it's somebody we don't know. I know it, I know it." Pooh started to giggle. He certainly looked strange, but it wasn't a stranger. That's Gopher. I forgot that I asked him to come and fix my sign over my door. Fix your sign," said Piglet. Well, Gopher said, don't worry, I got it fixed for you. So I'll just hang it up right up here, and I'll be back to my home, okay?" And Pooh's like, "Yes, that's fine, Gopher. Put it right up above here, hammer it, and thank you so very much for helping me with my sign that almost fell off the door. You're the best friend." Not a problem, Sonny. So after this, I'm gonna go do some more down my hole. Gopher, you sound funny. "Thank you, Gopher," said Pooh. "Won't you come in for a cup of tea?" Of course, Gopher's like, I'll stop for a cup of tea. I could certainly use a sip," said Gopher, pulling off his hard hat and basically coming in and sitting down. And he wiped his brow from all the sweat from digging at his home and fixing Pooh's sign. Pooh just set out a pot of tea, and they all had a cup of tea. Pooh took his spoon and knocked on it like they do. They go tick 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 tick, and they both somehow it makes it so it makes better. I think mixes. And then they hear a knock at the door again. Bang, bang, bang. "Who is it?" called Pooh. "It's me, Christopher Robin," called Christopher Robin. Pooh's being very smart. He didn't go to the door that time. He asked who was there, and the voice said to him, "It's me, Christopher Robin." But we always got to remember, even if we hear a voice that sounds familiar, never open the door. Don't do it. Let your mommy and daddy go to the door and do it. You don't open the door. If you're told not to, even if it sounds like somebody's familiar, you got to always be careful. Remember the safety rule? You have to be very, very careful, like what Christopher Robin's mom says. Christopher Robin did something really good. He made it to his grandmother's house, had dinner. He didn't talk to strangers, and then he came back to see Winnie the Pooh to see how they're doing. He's a very, very nice young man. Yes, he is. Perfect. There's Christopher Robin, Winnie the Pooh, and Piglet. Pooh opened the door. "Pooh, you are a very clever bear," said Christopher Robin. "I am?" asked Pooh. "What did I do?" "You've learned another safety rule by yourself." Basically, Pooh didn't know about this because Christopher Robin went really fast to see his granny. So he didn't have enough time to tell all the rules. He did tell him one, though: don't talk to strangers. And Pooh learned one that just by himself, which is he's not a bear of small brain. He figured it out. He's a bear of a very big heart, and that's what matters. Always make sure you know the person at your door before you open it. See, we just talked about that, and we learned something too. So we're even where Pooh is. We're learning rules too before we even get them told in the book. Great job for doing that. If you know that, wonderful work. "I had a little help from my friend Piglet," said Pooh. Piglet smiled proudly. He's going, "I did it. I actually wasn't scared, and I helped out. Even such a small animal like me, I could do great, great things." So it tells you right there, don't think about what size you are. It doesn't matter. If you help a friend, That's the miracle of having a friendship. Piglet's small, but he helped two friends out. So don't ever think size is what makes everything. Grandma gave me a big bag of cookies to share with my friends, said Christopher Robin. Geez, tea and cookies and tea time, said Gopher. Wow, that's so great. And he does that whistle. I really can't do it as good as he does it. But yeah. Says Piglet, your grandmother makes yummy cookies. The best cookies in the whole world, said Christopher Robin. Can we have more tomorrow? Munch. Pooh's talking like, could we have some more? Munch. No, I don't know. I have to teach you some more about the safety rules. Now that you know the safety rules, said Christopher Robin, you can come along to my grandmother's house and we can ask her together. So now, oops, I gotta come over here. There's Christopher Robin, there's Gopher, and he's munching on his cookies going. He goes, thank you, Sonny. That was so good of a cookies. And then Piglet's going, yeah, we're so happy. See how happy it is? He's very proud that he helped out his two friends and Gopher to be safe. Second rule of don't talk to strangers and make sure who's at the door. Remember what Christopher Robin said to his mom. Make sure who's at the door, who's really at the door. So now that they know the two rules, Piglet and Pooh, they can come to Christopher Robin's grandma to see if they can get more cookies. And of course, Gopher is going to go back down and start digging. He loves digging. And he's a really good friend too. He'll go, shakers, honey, like that. All right, there we go, Christopher Robin. And the safety rules. Don't talk to strangers. Never open your door to a stranger. Never take a present from a stranger. Never take a ride with a stranger. That's a good rule. If a stranger does try to talk to you or touch you, yell no. That's very important. Say no. Run away and tell a grown-up you trust as soon as you can. And remember, if you're going somewhere, it's always friendlier and safer to go with someone you know, especially like your parents. Don't ever go out without your parents, and make sure that you don't talk to strangers. Follow all these rules. I'll put it on there for you so you can see the rules really quick. I'll keep it there for just a second while I get a sip of water, so you can see the importance of the be safe rules. Oh, perfect. I think you got it. Good job. And if you want to, you can always stop it at this point too, and the little recording later on, and then you can learn them even more to take your time to get better at safety rules, as Christopher Robin says. Pooh's neighbors. Yay. You see that? There's Piglet, and there's Pooh, and he's going to learn about his neighbors. Woohoo. There's Owl and Pooh. Look at There's Mr. Sanders, and there's Owl and Pooh. Oops. I say, it's a splendid day in the neighborhood, says Owl. And then he always does his, as my Uncle Frederick would say, it's a splendid day in the neighborhood. As long as you meet a new friend and you have a good time to fly and the day is warm, it's always a good day. That's what Owl usually says. He has like a story like that. It's a nice day here too, said Winnie the Pooh. So Owl's up here, he's saying a nice day. Pooh's funny. He thinks that because Owl's up here, it's a different nice day that's down here. And he's a silly old bear. Both days are the same. And Owl probably talked to him and tell him that. Exactly what I'm saying, said Owl. A perfect, splendid day in the neighborhood. Which woods are talking about? What are the neighbors basically talking about? He's funny. He says neighborhood. Pooh doesn't understand. Which neighborhood, he goes, and which neighborhood are talking about? He doesn't understand it. And neighborhood, says Owl. Our neighborhood, the place where we live and where we all are neighbors and live together is called a neighborhood. Oh, said Pooh, it isn't a splendid day, is it? He's trying to figure out he's going, what's a neighborhood? And Al says, no, it's a neighborhood. And then Pooh's getting all confused and he thinks, isn't it a splendid day? How did we get to a neighborhood? And Al's saying, it's a neighborhood. And so Pooh's got to figure out, Al will teach him. And then Owl's going to say, stay, let me see, quiet, said Owl. I'm now off for an owl's eye view. So he's out. He says, there's right here. See, there's leaves. And he's saying, see you later, Pooh. I'll see you later in the neighborhood, going up for an owl's point of view. Okay, let's see here. He flew up and circled once around Pooh's house. What does it look like up there, called Pooh. He's going, what does it look like up there? Because Owl's really high up on the thing. He's going, what does it look like? And he's trying to yell up there. And let's see what Owl says. It's a fine place indeed, he says. Owl's funny. He looks down below and says, it's a fine place indeed. Pooh does have a very nice tree house. Pooh calls up and says, how you doing? And he says, your house looks really nice. Okay, so now let's see what happens. This is Owl soaring in the sky. So we're going to get to see about neighbors. Oh, there's Pooh. Do you see him right there? He's getting up on a chair. You got to be careful when you stand on a chair. Always have your mom and dad be with you when you stand on a chair like that. You can hurt yourself if you fall, so be very, very careful. And I hope Pooh is careful that he doesn't get hurt or anything. As Owl flew off, Pooh began to think about what it means to live in a neighborhood. And he thought perhaps he would bring a neighborly present to his closest neighbor. Piglet! Woohoo! Yay! He took a honey pot out of his cupboard and tied a nice blue ribbon on it. So he did make it safely. He reached up high, got it, brought it down, and this is the nice little blue ribbon that Pooh's talking about. He's going to tie it, and he's going to go to his nearest neighbor, who is Piglet. So we're going to get to see about that. You got to love that. He's going to his thoughtful spot. Then he tucked it uncomfortably under his arm. He put it right under his arm so there is no problem of it dropping, and stomped down the path towards Piglet's house. But when he reached his thoughtful spot, which is halfway between his house and Piglet's, Pooh suddenly had a thought. I could take this path straight to Piglet's house, or I could go up the path and around the whole neighborhood, and sooner or later the path would take me to Piglet's house. Anyways, and that is what he did. He thought. Then he says, I can either go to one place, which is Piglet's, or I can go to, this is him walking up the other path, I can go to the other path, which straight across is where he wants to go. That'll lead to Piglet. He's going to go over the top, and he's going to be able to go around and see all of his friends, and then it'll meet up to Piglet. So he'll get to see everybody in the neighborhood. That's so great. All right, let's make sure I got this. Oh, almost forgot a page there. There we go. After he had walked for a time, he came to the house where Kanga and Roo live. See? He gets to meet Kanga and Roo. Hello, Kanga, said Pooh. I'm just on my way to deliver this neighborly present to Piglet. But Pooh, dear, Piglet lives that way, said Kanga, pointing down the very path by which Pooh had come. Yes, said Pooh, but today I'm going the long way. Oh, I see, said Kanga. In that case, perhaps you should join us for a snack. Isn't she nice? She's a very, very nice mama. Come on, Pooh, cried Roo. We're going to the picnic spot. They're going to go to the picnic spot. See, they have a picnic basket. They're going to go to the picnic spot. He says he's going the long way instead. instead of going. So if he went back and he went straight, he would go straight to Piglet's house. But this way, he's going to meet all of his neighbors, which is a longer route, and he gets to say hi to all of his friends. That's so much fun. All right, look, they're at the picnic spot. Pooh said he was feeling a bit level, no, a bit, it was 11ish. It was actually 11ish right now. So it's actually like 1 hour from lunch. And so he's figuring, he goes, I feel a little 11ish. So they all went together past the sandy pit where Roo plays up to the picnic spot. Let me make sure I got that there. Up to the picnic spot and shared a little something, which is a little something is like sandwiches, apples, peas, talking. Half an hour and one picnic basket later, Pooh thanked Kanga, tucked Piglet's honey back under his arm, and stomped down the path towards Rabbit's house. So he got to see Kanga. So now that's his first neighbor. So let's see, he's going to go see Rabbit now. Hello, Rabbit, said Pooh. I'm on my way to Piglet's to give him this neighborly present. If you're going to Piglet's house, what are you doing here? Asked Rabbit. I'm going the long way, said Pooh. More like the wrong way, if you ask me, said Rabbit. But since you're here, would you mind taking these carrots to Christopher Robin? I promised he'd have them in time for lunch. So basically, Rabbit says that he's made these for Christopher Robin. Well, at the word you mentioned it, lunch. Pooh's like, lunch. Pooh noticed his tummy was feeling just a tiny bit rumbly. I'd be happy to, he said. Uh-oh. I don't know if this is going to turn out good. Let's see if he doesn't eat them before. There we go. He's crossing along the path, the stones in the river. With carrots under one arm and honey under the other, he walked along until he came to a place where the stepping stones crossed the stream. 1, 2, 3, 4, he counted. And then as he tippy-toed from one stone to the other, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Rabbit is friendly, and he really likes Pooh. That's what his Pooh says. I'm so glad I got to see Rabbit. He peeked out of the woods and knocked on Pooh's shoulder. Hello! There's a rabbit here, and then there's some other bunnies here. The rabbit friends waved. See, there's the rabbit friends here, here, here. These are, I think, part of Rabbit's friends, maybe family. And then as they were going by, one of them tapped him on his shoulder, and they says, "How you doing, Pooh?" So that's pretty cool. You got to see he's gonna go see. Oh, here we go. He's gonna bring it to Christopher Robin like he promised. So that's cool. There we go. Perfect. Got the right page. Pooh marched across the open slopes of heather and up steep bank of sandy stone until at last, tired and hungry, he arrived at Christopher Robin's door. Oh, my carrots, cried Christopher Robin happily. Thank you for delivering them. It seems the neighborly thing to do, said Pooh proudly. Would you like to join me for lunch? Christopher Robin asked. He asked basically Pooh. And Pooh said, well, I really am on my way to Piglet to bring him this present, but I don't see why I couldn't stop just for a little while. After lunch and longish snoring, he basically took a nap. Pooh was back on his feet and ready to roll he's going to Piglet's house now. So let's see who he met. He met Kanga, Rabbit. Now he met Christopher Robin. So he has a couple more friends to meet before he gets to go to Piglet's house. Because he's taking the long route instead of the short route. There's Eeyore. How you doing, Pooh? It's me, Eeyore. He walked down the path through the little pine woods and climbed over the gate into Eeyore's gloomy place, which was where Eeyore lived. Hello, Eeyore, said Pooh. I was just on my way to Piglet's house with this neighborly present. Not coming to visit. Not coming to visit me, said Eeyore. I don't think so. I've been have such a busy day, a busy week already. Why, only 4 days ago, Tigger bounced me on his way to the swimming hole. How many visitors can you expect, really? That's what Eeyore says. He goes, you didn't come to visit me? Of course, Pooh came to visit Eeyore. He's going to say, oh. And Pooh felt rather badly now. Offered Eeyore a little lick of the honey. Pooh opened the jar, and Eeyore spread it. He spread it on his tongue, and then Pooh put it back. Put the lid back on. Let's see. Uh-oh. Wow. Actually, Eeyore looked inside. He looked inside, and it's empty. He thought that he would get some on his tongue, but there was nothing in there. Uh-oh, I think Pooh ate Piglet's present. That's what it looks like to me, says Eeyore. Oh, bother, says Pooh. He stomped off gloomily, trying to think of how he was going to tell Piglet about the neighborly present Piglet was not going to get. He was thinking, how can I tell Piglet about this present that I already ate the honey? I was wondering if he was going to actually eat the honey on his way. There's no doubt about it. He had a rumbly in his tumbly. And as he went, he's like, I'll just take one little paw and I'll eat one smackerel. And then eventually one smackerel led to two smackerels that led to three. And then by the time he got to Eeyore, and he was going to offer Eeyore some because Eeyore felt bad that nobody visited him, Eeyore looked inside and there was no honey. And then Pooh's like, I ate the honey. Oh no, what am I going to get for Piglet? But Piglet and Pooh are friends. It's not about things. It's about that he's going to visit his friend. Pooh had almost arrived at the place where the woozles wouldn't and was deciding to take the long path around it just in case the woozle was when he saw. Basically, Pooh thinks that if he goes this path here, he's going to bump into a woozle, and we know that there's no woozles. And then he thought it was a woozle, and it was Owl flying overhead. I've seen our whole neighborhood today, Pooh told him, but now I have no neighborly present left for Piglet. The bees have been quite busy at the old bee tree lately, said Owl. Perhaps you can get a fill up there. That's a good idea, Owl, but it's such a long way, sighed Pooh. Come along, said Owl. We'll take the shortcut through the woods. So now they're taking, when Pooh said he wanted to go around because he was afraid of the woozles, he's going to go straight into the woozle land. And we're going to see what happens. This is going to be so great. So they walked together until they came to an open place in the middle of the forest. And in the middle of the place was an old bee tree. Do you see the bee tree here? It's an old bee tree. Pooh could hear loud buzzing up at the top. They're going bzzz, 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 and it's up. And then Pooh climbs up. He climbs. Go higher, called Owl. Past the bees to the very top of the tree. Now look all around you. What do you see? He's at the very top of the tree. Right. So I'll show you right here. This is the very top. He's right here. And basically, Owl's going to say, what do you see when you're up here? He gets to have, as they say, the owl's point of view. Because owl flies, and it's right there. Oh, here we go. The 100-acre woods was spread out below him. Our neighborhood, cried Pooh, our beautiful home. That's the owl's view, said Owl grandly. Oh, I can see poor Piglet Not out sweeping his walk, said Pooh. Looks like he could use some company. So we're going to start over here. This is Pooh's house, the thoughtful spot, the sandy pit where Roo plays, Piglet's house right there. Let me see here. The nice picnic place where he ate with Kanga and Roo. Let's see. There's Kanga and Roo's house. There's the bee tree, old bee tree, where Pooh is. There's Rabbit. There's Rabbit's relatives right here. They tapped him on Pooh's shoulder, remember that? Owl's house is right here, where the Woozles won't. This is where the Woozles won't. They won't come. There's Eeyore's gloomy place. There's Christopher Robin's house. Let's see, is there anything else? I think that's good. We'll go over one more time and let you see. Do you see all the different places? I'll just be very, very slow so you can see it. Take a look as you can see. There we go. And there we go. Okay, let's see what else is going on here. This should be the end. Oops, excuse me here. And let's do it. So Pooh filled the honey pot. So Pooh filled the honey pot once more. He and Owl went to Piglet's house for supper. Isn't that so cool? They ended up, Pooh got to see all the 100-acre woods the way that Owl gets to see it when he flies. He says, Pooh, you got to see the owl's point of view, my point of view. And so that's super duper cool. Well, I wanted to, because we're going to stop here, I wanted to thank you all for coming along on Winnie the Pooh's My Very First Winnie the Pooh Growing Up Stories. And you learned about a very important thing about safety. And you learned about neighborhood friendship. Great job. And always implement those and make sure that you're safe and friendly. And again, thank you so much for coming on this journey of learning with me. And like what I always say, don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. And come back to Happy Time Story Time for more videos. Be blessed, my friends. Bye-bye.